What's going on, guys? It's Shane with Blacktop Racing, and I'm here at FedEx Field with the WDCR group. Thank you, SCCA WDCR region, for letting me do these one takes. Today is a nice day. It's actually dry. Yesterday was a downpour at some of the BMW event, but today it's actually dry. Speeds are good. It's just a little bit chilly. So right now I'm in a 2009 Nissan 370Z, and the biggest thing is this car even worth the darn in B Street where it's class? So we're gonna try out. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead, fire this puppy up. So, oh yeah, that's right, I gotta put the clutch down and then hit the start button. These modern cars. And just with every modern car, you also have to freaking check out where the VDC is. So I have to make sure that's off. And from what I can remember, it's just a one click and we are done. So we're gonna go ahead and pull out right now and just changing up the format a little bit. I want to say thank you to the sponsors, which is Agile Auto. Check them out for anything. They're out in Bel Air. And then also another sponsor, which is Apex Junkie. So shout out to those guys for helping them with all the support for this season. So it's a brand new season, boys. I'm going to focus more. This is the first episode of the season. So I'm going to focus more on the one takes, more so than my vlogs, if you guys ever check those out. And tutorials. That's what I'm going to do a lot more this year. So, yeah. So, this car, I'll go over all the semantics right after this run. So I'll pull in and check the email with all the information. But to start off, it is a 2009. He's running on Bridgestone RE-71s, or 275 square actually. And one thing with this car, it's a little bit nostalgia. Lyric had the same car. She let me drive that back when it was called B or C stock, and you can actually run the same size tires, but it was that purple crack, baby. And that purple crack, the car was crazy. I mean, it had so much grip. The biggest thing is that it couldn't sweep worth a damn. So you kind of drove it like a all-wheel drive car. So we'll see how this all fares out. The course today is kind of tricky here and there. It doesn't fare well for this car per se, but we'll see how it goes, and if I can even keep up with these Corvette boys. Let's stay out here. Woo, child. Yeah, it doesn't like to sweep, so I gotta adjust that for next time. Just kind of point and shoot. The alignment isn't perfect right now, so that's one thing that I just gotta kind of remember, is that since the alignment isn't good, since the alignment isn't good, it's actually making me go more towards the right. So I just gotta keep that in mind. Yeah, any of these left-hand movements, it actually makes the car act a little upset. So it's interesting. So right now I ran a 53.8 on that first run, getting the tires nice and warmed up. Thank you. So 53.8. There's still some more time in this. Try to see if I can scrub off more time. The understeer is one of the biggest things with this car. So you actually have to, with this alignment not really being sharp, the car isn't turning consistently both left and right. The right hand turns pretty well, but the left hand turns because of the alignment. So he had a few woes, which is a little bit of backstory on this car. Had a few woes on it, so had to change the shocks because those blew. So ever since he changed them, he just hasn't dialed in the settings. But I'll go over here, pull over, and just kind of spiel a little bit before we get into some of the other nuances of things. So, shaka-shang. All right, so here we go. It's a 2009 370Z Sport Touring. The car mods are wheels and tires are the stock sizes at 19 by 10s in the rear. and which are running two 75/35s, and then the front, sorry, this is backwards from what it normally. The fronts are 19x9s, and he's saying that they're 245s. Did I read that wrong? We'll look at the tape. I guess it's not wrong because he typed it. So 245 40s. I guess it was Lyric's car that we tried to fit 275s up front. I don't know. The exhaust is a Stillen catback, which does sound very nice. There is no ECU tuning because it's a stock car. He does have the koni yellows. The setup on that one is actually a half turn from stiff on the front, and 2/3 stiff from the rear. And he also has a 1 3/8 front bar. So thanks, Sam Strano. Check out Sam Strano and Strano Parts for those stuff. Now his regular alignment is generally negative negative 0.8 in the front and -1 on the right. So yeah, the balance as far as when he's out of the car versus in the car. The rear camber is negative 1.4 and 1.6 respectively for the left and right. The toe is 0.09 and 0.11 for the rear. The stock seats, of course, because it is in the street class. And then he just wants to give a shout out to Second Gear Racing crew and best luck to all going to nationals. Obviously, this was from last year before the car broke, but yeah. So let's go ahead and make our way back onto the course. So tires should be pretty good right now. The one thing I just got to remember is that there's still a lot of high levels of grip. However, you have to keep in mind that I can't exploit everything because of this darn alignment, but it's fun. So one of the downsides to the 370Z, which it had the power to take it out of CS, however, it does not have, to me, the proper diff to make it that competitive in B Street. So B Street, you're going against those Corvettes, the Z51 packages, and those cars actually have diffs, and they drive very similar. But the downside to this car is that it has a viscous diff. Because it has a viscous diff, it actually doesn't lock unless you get the car squared. So you can either do that more so by getting, like, the guy that won nationals in this car 1 year actually had like some baller Penske's, and because of those baller Penske's, he can set it up in a way that way the car stays flat a lot more. In this car with these shocks, you can't do it as well, so you kind of have to watch out. So let's take another whack at this, see if I can get down to the Corvette guys, and see what's up. Point and shoot. That's all I can do. Slaloms well. So got down to a 52.3. So you gotta just drive this thing like point and shoot. Get on the power as soon as possible if you can, but you can't sweep. The car just sucks the sweeping. Even in C Street with Hoosiers, forget about it. It'll do because it's the lack of camber. And this car, one of the reasons why it won't be an STU is because it'll beat up on its little brother, or older brother, the 350Z. So in STU, you can do all those modifications. You can make all the fixing. You can change the diff. You can do all those things that will cure all the issues that Street has. And it's just the way that the car is designed. I mean, Nissan did a good job overall However, they just lacked some things when it came to the diff and so forth. So, yeah, as far as overall stuff with this car, you just got to go in with a lot of the point and shoot. As you can see, what I was doing quite a bit was that I was actually only wind up these windows so it'll be a little bit quieter. So what I was doing quite a lot is that I would just go in on the power, brake really hard, load the front, pivot the car while rolling on the throttle. You'll feel that more of the power is going to the right wheel, regardless. And then that will still help rotate the car, however. So as you're rotating the car, you kind of got to pedal it a little bit on off. So as the diff isn't going to fully rotate you all the time. So you're flooring a little bit just to get that rotation. And then you're easing back off for it to catch and then rolling back on the gas. That's just what I was doing. Other people will tell you differently. I'm just explaining as far as how I did it. From there, getting the nose in, cutting the distance because it can't sweep, so I can't take a lot of momentum lines. Try that on the first run. Even though the tires were a little bit cold, you can see I was trying to turn in and then all of a sudden it'll just wash away. So the lines that I can take on my Miata, kind of take a midline, dive in and then sweep back out and keep the momentum. Can't do that so much in this car. One, it's heavier, and it lacks the camber. So would this be a nice fit? I've driven this on the street, and I have to say, between it and the Corvette, they're both fun. This is obviously more modern. It's a newer car, being a 2009 versus the C5 Corvettes. Oh shit! All right, let's just keep it as it is. The Corvette's interior is garbage in comparison to the Z. They actually took a lot of bits on the newer on the 370s. They actually took the interior bits from the upper class Infiniti. So I'd rather live in this car. If this car had a diff, it will be really good, and it'll probably even have to be an AS. But you can't get in that car, so you're stuck with what you have. But the interior is better. It's to me a lot more comfortable. This car is actually a little bit heavier than the FR models, so it is what it is. Smaller wheelbase, I believe, on this car. So can the 370Z compete in BS? In the right hands, it'll be close, but that quarrel with the darn diff, I don't really think that it can do it. CS, they may have to contemplate putting it back down in CS because of the NDs. Would I be able to try and get a run in one of the NDs? We'll see. But it's tough, man. It's tough. You're gonna be fun. You're gonna be chasing them locally. I think you can definitely have some fun, but nationally, man, those B Street drivers nationally are just a tear, and they can put the power down. So that's it for me, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in. Again, I want to thank Agile Auto for the sponsorship, along with Apex Junkie. Go check them both out at their respective .coms. You'll also see it down there at the bottom. So thanks for checking us out. Thanks again to the WDCR, SCCA. Come check out Autocross with us. I also have their website and calendar down in the description. Justin, thank you for letting me drive your car. The nostalgia of driving the limited yellow 09s. I think they brought it back in some of the new years, but I like the car. I just wish it freaking had a diff. Or a better diff. Alright guys, so until next time, take care and meet me from this little yellow 370Z. Catch you guys later.